I like Guillermo del Toro, so it was kind of hard to lower my expectations. But even that said, pretty sure it exceeded my expectations.
I loved this movie. I can only describe this film with one word, really, and that word is beautiful. It is so beautiful.
Then he can't live with himself by making another monster. He doesn't know what's going to come of it. Like he doesn't know what the girl's going to do. Maybe she doesn't want to do that. Maybe she'll
Right.
be,
Whoa, I
you
didn't
know,
think about that, son. Like, what if she come to
mortified
life and she's
by.
like, "What the fuck, dude?" And he pushed this theory by testing it on a dead man. She's pretty crazy. They're just like frying this dude in front of everybody. Everybody's like, "Oh shit, he's bringing back the dead." This motherfucker's Jesus. This is a roller coaster of a movie to go into blind. It felt like it was a comedy that turned into a romance that turned into a spy movie. Who better to adapt a story like this into film than Guillermo del Toro? I can't think of anybody more qualified. He didn't let me down. Real quick, everybody, before this episode starts, we just wanted to tell you guys from the bottom of our hearts that we love you guys, and we would really love it if you loved us too. That's a weird way to say that.
Yeah, that is weird. That's okay. We love you.
No, but for real, if you like this podcast and you want to support us, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, give us a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or what else are we on? Amazon. Do those things for us, and we would truly, truly appreciate it. Yeah. I think that's all. Yeah, that's all. So do that, please. Okay, bye. Thanks.
Cinema Rolls Podcast.
Welcome to the Cinema Rolls Podcast. Today, we will be discussing and reviewing Frankenstein. Eric, I know I said no sound effects, but maybe put a little thunder right there, as long as it's not too crazy for the, not too loud.
All right.
Yes, this was released this past Friday. Well, when this comes out, it'll be, further from then, but it's rated R, has a runtime of 2 hours and 29 minutes. It is directed by Guillermo del Toro, is written by Guillermo del Toro, and Mary Shelley is also credited here on IMDb as a writer. I wonder why that is. Just because it's based off her novel, maybe, I don't know.
Most likely. But
And then it stars Oscar Isaac, Jacob Elordi, and Christoph Waltz. You want to give him a little synopsis?
It's the story of Frankenstein.
There you go.
If you don't know what that is, Dr. Victor Frankenstein wants to see if he can reanimate the dead. He wants to beat death, essentially. So he finds a way to do it. He does, and we are told the story through both his perspective and the creature's perspective, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yes.
And I think the movie overall asks who is the man and who is the monster,
Like Hunchback in Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Who is the monster and who is the man?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sure people don't want to hear me singing on this podcast. Well,
Sing.
Yeah, what'd you think of it, Eric?
I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. I was pretty excited. I like Guillermo del Toro, so it was kind of hard to lower my expectations. But even with that said, pretty sure it exceeded my expectations. Because I don't think I've ever actually seen a legit Frankenstein movie. I've only ever seen him in other movies,
Right.
But never just like a standalone Frankenstein movie.
Right. Or like cameo, like little cartoons and shit,
Yeah, cartoons or like a modernization parody or whatever, but like nothing that's like a legit Frankenstein movie, So it was cool to see it. The special effects, makeup, everything's awesome. Uh, and yeah, I liked that it went back and that it told two stories from the two perspectives of the doctor and the creature. Yeah.
Nice. Right on, brother. Um,
What did you think?
I am a little biased because I love Guillermo del Toro. He is one of my favorite directors. Might also be because he's Mexican. But it's also just because he's an amazing director. He's
He
fucking
is.
phenomenal. This is a book I have all about Guillermo del Toro
Yeah.
because I love him. And so yeah, I'm a little biased, but and every time you have a favorite director making something new, you're always a little worried that, maybe something went wrong and they didn't
Yeah.
do as well as you were
Like, oh
expecting
no,
them to do.
maybe this one sucks.
But I loved this movie. I
Yeah.
can only describe this film with one word, really, and that word is beautiful. It is so beautiful. It's it's like fine art to me.
hmm
Um, Frankenstein is a classic story that has long passed the test of time. Everyone knows it, or at least has heard of it. It's a gothic horror about monsters and men, love and rage, and life and death. And who better to adapt a story like this into film than Guillermo del Toro?
hmm
I can't think of anybody more suitable or qualified. And
Agreed.
he didn't let me down. You know, everything
No.
about it feels so well crafted with with love and passion. The set designs, the costume designs, the cinematography, the color theory, the acting, the storytelling. You can tell that Guillermo not only understands the story, but has a deep, deep love and affinity for it. Um, Oscar Isaac and Mia Goth are always great. Jacob Elordi is kind of the surprise here in this film.
hmm
He killed it. I kind of figured he would though. I know a lot of people are questioning it just because like I don't know he kind of got his big break on Euphoria. He plays kind of an asshole in that show, and that show has kind of since then been kind of like memed. I guess it's just kind of like a slutty teenager show. It's actually a
Yeah.
really good show. Like I like it a lot. He does a really good job in it. I hate his character in it because he's just such an asshole. And he plays it so well. Um,
Mhm.
it's kind of like the kid that played Joffrey or even
Oh yeah.
what's his face in Harry Potter,
Malfoy.
Malfoy. Yeah,
What's can't remember- I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. But yeah,
but yeah, like it's
Tom Felton.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's like that, like they play the characters so well that you kind of hate them, and then like you see them in real life, and you like kind of want to transfer that hatred towards them in real
Yeah.
life, but like you're like, oh, he was just playing a character, he's just a good actor. Um, but yeah, seeing him in Euphoria and then seeing him in this, like he kind of stole the show for me in this movie, as he should. He's playing the monster, right? The monster. Um,
Mhm.
and Guillermo does such a good job of betraying. Sorry, hold on. I think my mouth's a little dry, so I'm stumbling. Guillermo does such a good job of portraying both Victor and his creation story, and he juxtaposes them with themes that suit both characters. Um,
Mhm.
Victor, his story is filled with passion and madness and tenacity, and he has an obsession with death. And because so, his story is filled with death and horrors that come along with it. The creature story, though he's labeled a monster by Victor, his story is filled with life and an appreciation for it. And because so, his story, for the most part, anyways, is filled with compassion. And
Mhm.
Guillermo does such a good job of interweaving these stories and these themes that they were at times I felt um, it was horrifying and disgusting, and at times I felt like I was on the verge of tears,
Yeah.
which is exactly what gothic horror should be,
Yeah.
and that's what this movie felt like to me. It felt like it was the epitome of gothic horror, and yeah, I could ramble all day about how much I loved it.
Yeah.
But I think it's damn near a masterpiece.
Yeah. No, I would think so.
You want to move into ratings?
Yeah. I didn't think much about ratings, but I think I would give this a 9.5.
Nice.
I think it's up there. Yeah.
Nice. I'm gonna give it a 10.
A 10.
A 10, Eric.
Perfect score.
I don't give anything a 10, but I'm giving it a 10.
Okay,
I loved it.
nice.
I loved it. After I watched it, even though it's like a little long, I was like, I want to watch it again. I'm still thinking about it. Like it's like I haven't really felt this way about a movie in a while since I felt like I was like a kid or something, like, when you watch a movie as a kid that you love so much, it's like suddenly you like become obsessed with it, and you just like, it's like all you want to find more content of it. You want to like kind of continue the obsession with by following other things or watching other things or even doing other things. Like I felt like that when I first watched X-Men. I remember I think I was like 6 or something when the movie came out. I walked out of the theater with my fists like this at my sides because I felt like I was Wolverine, y'all.
Yeah.
So that's how this movie made me feel. I wanted to just keep learning more about it. And thank God Netflix did such a good job with like promoting it and letting like people create more like they're people. I guess not saying people, but they're people that work for Netflix create content out of it for like YouTube, for social media, for even Netflix. There's like a whole other like little kind of 40-minute documentary of like behind the scenes and stuff. Which is cool. I watched that. Did you check that out?
No.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I actually avoided most trailers and anything before I saw the movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't had much time to watch much since
fair.
I saw the movie. So,
right. Yeah, I watched it Friday, the day it came out, so and today's Monday, so I've had a lot of time to kind of just like watch other stuff about it.
Yeah.
I'm guessing maybe you don't have a ton of fun facts to share about the movie?
About this movie specifically? No.
Yeah. Okay.
I did hear that originally he wrote the role of the creature for Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, he did. Andrew Garfield dropped out. But yeah, I think Andrew Garfield would have killed too, but Oscar Isaac's also an awesome choice, right? He was going to play Victor Frankenstein, right? Or was he playing the?
I was told he was going to play the creature.
Oh, really?
Which
actually,
Andrew Garfield's great. I'm sure he would do fine in both roles, but.
No, I think Jacob Elordi was better, actually. I think this is a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
I think I love Andrew Garfield. He's one of my favorite actors, but I think Jacob Elordi has that mythological height. Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfucker's tall, yo. All right, well, cool. That's cool. I thought maybe you'd come with more facts. There's so much. I don't know if just because I love the movie so much that my algorithm's just like feeding me content of Frankenstein, but there's so much out there that people probably already know, or have already heard of. I've already seen. Even like they said on Netflix, they have a whole documentary that you can watch from behind the scenes. Like the Netflix is giving out all the fun facts. You know what I mean? So I thought rather than just share or regurgitate a lot of the same stuff that some people have already heard, I figured I'd tell a little bit of the story of Mary Shelley and how she came to write the story. And then I'll tell a little bit about Guillermo del Toro and how he kind of worked his way up in film.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's do it.
All right.
So Mary Shelley was the daughter of two well-known and well-established writers, William Gowan and Mary Wollstonecraft. I honestly don't know anything they've written, but they were, I guess, famous writers at the time. And those are her parents. She was apparently mostly raised by her father, who introduced her to literary legends and encouraged her to read and write at a young age. So she received a very, very good education, and throughout her life, she was surrounded by writers due to who her parents were. And at 16, she met a poet named Percy Bysshe, Percy Bysshe Shelley. What a cool like middle name. Anyways, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and they ran off together and they eloped. Um, she was only 16 and he was already married. So this, yeah, yeah. So this created a lot of drama at the time. And being a writer at that time, that was like being a filmmaker at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you were a prominent writer at that time, you were like a rock star. You know, it was like writers and then composers. You know, like people that are making music and stuff. These people, those were the legends at the time. So this was like kind of the gossip of the time when this happened, and so they kind of took off. They ran away from London, and they were just kind of traveling together. I think Mary Shelley's sister actually kind of tagged along with them, but they're kind of traveling with poor means because of the discourse and everything that happened. Her father distanced himself from her. And Percy's wife that he left actually ended up unaliving herself because of it. So, yeah, it was so it was a huge thing. So they pretty much just ran away from it all, and eventually they had to come back because they're just they didn't have like a ton of money that they left with, and they think they're just running out of money. So they came back to London, and they're in London for a bit, and then they received an invitation to go to Villa Diodati. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's at Lake Geneva, and this was the summer house of a poet named Lord Byron. And 1816 is when they all went to Lake Geneva. Apparently, it wasn't much of a summer though, because the year before a volcano erupted in Indonesia, and it caused like a giant ash cloud that circled the entire globe. And it caused like a worldwide volcanic winter. It was pretty crazy. So while they were there, it was like at first really sunny, but then like every now and then they would like get like clouds that would roll in, and at some point like it got very, very cloudy and very, very rainy, and giant thunderstorm happened. So they all just kind of rushed inside, and they were kind of stuck in there together, and they're bored. It was Mary, Percy, Claire, and Byron were the four writers that were there. And Byron came up with an idea to partake in a ghostwriting competition and to see who could write the most unnerving tale. And because they had nothing else to do, they got right to work. And they were all writing except for Mary, because she had writer's block. She did not know what she wanted to write about, and she couldn't figure it out until she went to sleep that night. And she had a nightmare. And the nightmare was of a man ghost phantasm thing that was like either by her bedside or in her doorway, I forget. And it was hooked up to like this engine, like a machine, and his eyes were closed at first, but then when he opened them, it was like yellow watery eyes that were glaring at her. And she woke up in a panic, and the moonlight was beaming through her windows, and she was like, I got it. Like, this is like, if this freaked me out, this will freak other people out. So I'm gonna write about it. She began writing Frankenstein based off her nightmare, and then she started adding influences from other things that she deemed fit for her new gothic horror story. Some of the influences were galvanism. I guess in 1786 there was this scientist named Luigi Galvani, and he electrified a dead frog. And when he did so, the legs started kicking. They started moving around.
Yeah.
Right? So then he started experimenting with other dead animals, and he kind of started to push this idea that electricity can bring the dead back to life. And then in 1803, Luigi Galvani's nephew continued his legacy, and he pushed this theory by testing it on a dead man after he had been hung. One of his eyes opened, one of his arms went up, and his legs were kicking. And to the people that were spectating, because it was done at a college, they thought that this dude was about to be restored back to life. It's pretty crazy. They're just like frying this dude in front of everybody. Everybody's like, oh shit, he's bringing back the dead. This motherfucker's Jesus. Another influence was a doctrine called the nature of the principle of life. And it was pretty much a philosophical doctrine about life, death, and reanimation. And these were all kind of prevalent at the times that they're like having this intellectual discourse prior to her going to bed, and then her nightmare. So she kind of just put it all in there. Another life influence that may have affected the story in 1815, Mary Shelley, her baby passed away in its sleep. So just like any mother would be, she was distraught about it. Death and mourning were like kind of just freshly on her brain at the time that she started to write Frankenstein. Obviously, the story of Prometheus is an obvious influence, as the book is often titled Frankenstein, the Modern Prometheus. Mine doesn't say that. I don't know if other copies do, but my copy just says Frankenstein. And Prometheus, for everybody that doesn't know, is a Greek god that stole fire from the gods and gave it to humanity. Him and his brother were actually tasked with creating humans from clay. Yeah, I'll think also to the title, The Modern Prometheus, was given to Benjamin Franklin when he was out there with his what was it, kite and a key.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people gave that title to Benjamin Franklin, Modern Prometheus, and then she kind of took that and put that on her title. I think Christianity also plays a role, considering Victor kind of plays God in the story and by creating Frankenstein. I'm not sure if that's like a prominent influence, but I would assume so. And then Guillermo actually leans really heavily into this, being that he was raised Catholic, and he actually puts Frankenstein on a pedestal that's similar to a crucifix when he's about to get like lit up by the lightning. He's like, it's more of like a YMCA type pose like this, but it looks kind of like a crucifix. So that's Mary Shelley.
All right.
Pretty cool though. I didn't know all that stuff about Galvanism. I just thought that I really thought that dude electrifying the dead guy in front of an audience was just crazy. I was like, humans are wild, yeah. But a little bit about Guillermo del Toro. He was born in Guadalajara, Mexico. If you watch any of his interviews with him, he will proudly state that he's Mexican. I feel like he tries to find a way to put it in there all the time, which I love because I'm also Mexican. So yeah, I love that he's proud to be Mexican. At a young age, he found himself to be a bit of an outcast compared to other kids. He, at the age of 5, he was asking for mandrake root for Christmas so that he could practice black magic. At the age of 8, he began making his own films with his dad's Super 8 camera. So his dad had a Super 8 camera, and he would film the family with it. And he said at that time, when he was watching his dad's films of the family, he realized that like anybody can just pick up a camera and make a movie pretty much. Like he said prior to that, movies just kind of existed like the way apples or food did or something, water, right? Like it was just kind of there, and he had access to it, but he didn't realize he could just make it until his dad had a Super 8 camera. So he started making movies with his Planet of the Apes toys and his Super 8 camera. He was a big fan of Planet of the Apes. He said Planet of the Apes was like his Star Wars before Star Wars. And then him and his brother would even go as far as to make like little like clay figures and put ketchup in it. And then like throw it from the roof, and so that would crash down and create like a bloody explosion. And he would like record that. So he's a very, very creative dude from a young age. He also was a hypochondriac at a young age. He started to read like a lot of medical books, and he would just like tell his mother that he was like, hey, I think I got this. Like I think even one interview I saw, he's like, hey, I think I have cancer. So he was like really paranoid about being sick. But anyways, he was just an odd guy. He really loved monster movies. He kind of really related to all monsters. He saw himself in the monsters because he was such an outcast. At the age of 15, he got his own Super 8 camera, and he started experimenting with films more. And he also started to start working more professionally at that age. And soon after that, he got his first gig digging a grave for a director named Jaime Humberto Hermosillo. The movie was called El Corazón de la Noche, and Jaime was also his screenplay teacher. He taught him how to write scripts. So that's cool. He also was studying makeup effects at the time, so he could do his own makeup in his movies. And he was making a living off that, doing makeup for movies and stuff, while he was directing his own movies on the side. This is kind of cool because in the behind the scenes stuff on Netflix, you actually see Guillermo kind of messing around with a lot and kind of helping out the set designers, or even the costume designers who'll be like painting stuff on the rocks and stuff. You know what I mean? Like he's like really hands on, you know, which makes sense because he has a makeup effects background. And then he started making shorts. He kind of broke into the film industry by making shorts. His first one was Pesadilla 1. It was made in 1982. Then Matilde in 1984. Then Doña Lupe in 1986. And Geometria, I think that's what it's called, 1987. And then he directed 3 episodes for a show called Hora Macada in 1988. And then he directed his first full-length feature film called Kronos, which has been on my list for a minute. I've never seen it. Mm-hmm. He made it in 1992. It's a vampire movie, apparently, that starts with like a scarab, which I think the Blue Beetle kind of took inspiration from the scarab that he made in that movie, because the Blue Beetle prop looks pretty similar to the scarab in the Kronos movie. And then Mimic was the movie that kind of brought him to American filmmaking. It was shot in Toronto, which I guess technically is Canada, but a lot of films are shot in Toronto for American audiences. So that was like his breakout into American films. Yeah, that's all I wrote. I was actually trying to type up a lot more prior to this podcast, but you were waiting on me, so I didn't want to continue writing. But if you want to know more about Guillermo del Toro, I'd suggest this book here. It's probably backwards for you guys because my screen's always backwards. But it's called Guillermo del Toro, the iconic filmmaker and his work. And it's written by Ian Nathan. So if you want to check that out. He's got a very interesting life. He seems like the coolest dude. He's very quotable. I love watching his interviews. He always says something that I'm like, damn, I gotta write that shit down.
I listened to the audiobook today.
All right. That's right.
Yeah. And which is one of the reasons why I didn't have a lot of fun facts, because usually like at work I'll listen to different interviews and stuff about whatever we just watched. Mm-hmm. But instead I was listening to the audiobook Frankenstein. And I liked it. It was pretty good. I think it drug on a little bit in some parts.
I read like half of this book, maybe a year ago. And I got to a part, Eric, where like it was after he had made the creature, and he had to go back to his hometown because like his adopted sister Elizabeth or whatever had got like assaulted or something. I forget. And then there's like this whole court drama thing. And I was like, what is going on? I was like, what is this?
Yeah, exactly.
And I fell off. I didn't want. I was like, I want more of the monster, bro. I want because that part. Actually, I'll let you talk. But there's a part that I really love, and Guillermo actually showed it in the movie.
I did also watch the original Frankenstein last night as well, from 1931.
Oh, nice! I watched it yesterday too.
Yeah, and that was vastly different from the book and this recent movie. So Guillermo is definitely closer to the story, although there was a lot of liberties taken, and I think Guillermo, his choices that he made fit better for a modern audience. So it was good. Like I said, it drug on at parts. In the book, it actually does change perspectives from Victor Frankenstein and then to the creature, like the movie did as well. In the book, I think the biggest difference that they didn't include in the movie is that when he asks Victor to make him a companion, Victor kind of reluctantly agrees and actually starts making it. But then he can't live with himself by making another monster and doesn't know what's going to come of it. Like, yeah, the Frankenstein said he's just going to be chill and they're just going to live together. Like, but he doesn't know what the girl's going to do. Maybe she doesn't want to do that. Maybe she'll
Right.
be,
Whoa, I
you
didn't
know,
think about that, son. Like, what if she come to
mortified
life and she's
by,
like, what the fuck, dude?
yeah. And so he's like, no, I'm not going to do this. And then he just stops, making his bride. And then that pisses off the monster even more. But that was like a bunch of like additional stuff that I felt wasn't really necessary.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I liked the book. I thought it was pretty good. Yeah, there's some differences, but definitely this new movie not only was more accurate to the book, but I think it portrayed the core like value and heart of the original story than the 1931 movie did,
Yeah,
which is still a classic, but
I think it
yeah.
honors it very well.
It does. Yeah.
So did he wait? Did you say that? Did he make the bride or no?
No, he stops making the bride, and the
Frankenstein
monster gets mad.
yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, so the Universal classic horror Frankenstein,
Mhm.
it is based more off of a play that was written
Right.
in, I forget when it was written, to be quite honest, but it was written a while ago. And and the play is actually where they started getting confused and calling the monster Frankenstein. So in the play, so a lot of people like are there's like a huge misconception that like the monster's name is Frankenstein, and everyone thinks that it was just due to everyone being kind of dumb and just kind of like calling him Frankenstein because he doesn't really have a name. But in the play, the original play that was written for it, they call the monster Frankenstein. So yeah, so
You know what that just reminded me of? When I went to Westland, the Baptist school, we weren't allowed to have dances.
that school's Baptist.
It was Baptist, yeah.
I didn't know that, yo. I went to that
Yeah.
school too.
But we weren't allowed to have dances. And so for our homecoming, instead of having a dance, they took us off to Heritage Square, which isn't there anymore, unfortunately.
All right.
Yeah. And we watched the play Frankenstein.
Nice.
Yeah. I forgot that was the play. I remember we went up there, we saw a show and whatever. But yeah, I just remembered that's the show that we watched was Frankenstein.
Whoa, that's wild. Kind of weird, to be quite honest. It's like, hey, you can't have a dance, but we'll go take you to see this this play that is kind of mocking God's power, you know?
But just this guy who plays God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think the misconception actually isn't like a terrible misconception. I think it would make sense for people to assume that Victor Frankenstein would pass his name on to his creature.
Creation. Yeah. And the original movie, they called him Henry.
Yeah, that was weird too.
Yeah, which I thought was weird, and I guess it's because they thought it'd be American audiences, they wouldn't like the name Victor, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is weird to me to think that Victor's like too foreign a name.
Right. That is weird, yeah. That's funny. Apparently, what's his name that plays the monster? I want to say Karloff, right? What's his name? Something. Karloff?
Yeah, I think that's right.
Borloff. What the fuck is this guy's name again? I'm like totally blanking on it. Boris Karloff? Is it Boris
Karloff?
Yes, Boris Karloff. I mixed the two names together. Boris Karloff. Apparently, not necessarily an argument, but him and James Whale, the director, they had a disagreement a bit when he throws the little girl in the water.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do it. He was like, nah.
Understandable.
Yeah, and I was like, that was like the darkest part of that movie. I was like, what the fuck, dude? That's crazy. It's so random too. Like they're just kicking it. This little girl's so nice.
Yeah.
She's like hanging out with this monster, and he's just like,
yeah. Well, I thought it was crazy that he didn't bother to try to save her. He
go in and get her.
Away.
Yeah. Bro.
He was like, nope, I'm out.
What the fuck, dude? That was crazy.
Yeah. Also, do you think that scene where he throws Henry off of the windmill, and which obviously just like a rag doll.
Like a
Do you think it
mannequin or
was
something, yeah.
Yeah, do you think it was intended for it to hit the windmill, or did
I don't-
that happen on accident? And they're
I
like,
don't
"Oh,
know.
that looks cool. Let's keep that in." You know?
Yeah, I have no idea. It worked though. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I really liked the way Boris Karloff moved around in this movie.
Yeah.
Natalie thought it was hilarious. I think this one comes off just comical just because of like all the wide shots of when the action's taking place. So like if I'm not sure if this is like an actual technical film thing, but this is just my theory. When you're shooting action, right, and you have the camera from like a POV or even just like right over their shoulder kind of thing, when you're in the mix and the camera's moving around with the action, it feels like you're in it. You're more
Mhm.
worried about the main character in the action. But when you shoot it with the wide shot, it becomes a lot more comical. And I think it's because like
Yeah.
you're not as involved. You're seeing it from like
Right.
a distance. So it makes it like, for example, if you're walking next to somebody and they trip and fall, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, are you okay?" But if somebody sees
Yeah.
it from a distance, they're gonna die laughing, you know.
Yeah.
Like so, like I think that's the but like with this movie, the Frankenstein from 1931, they have a lot of wide shots of the action. So like there was times when Natalie and I were kind of laughing at it. But yeah, it was pretty good. I actually, this and Dracula are the only two like classic monster movies that I've seen from Universal. And well, I guess technically Creature from the
Swamp Thing.
Black
Oh yeah.
Lagoon.
Yeah. Creature from the Black Lagoon.
I kept wanting to call it Swamp Thing too. No, the Creature from the Black Lagoon is the other one I've seen too. But I think it's hard to say. The Creature from the Black Lagoon was pretty good. I might say that was the best one of the three. But I like Dracula more than Frankenstein, to be quite honest. Another thing I wanted to say is I really like the way Jacob Elordi moved as Frankenstein as well.
Yeah.
I want to say he was studying some kind of dance or something that was that used similar movements. But I was telling Natalie when I was watching the movie, like the way he was using his hands is what I really liked. Like when he would pick something up, he would kind of like, you know,
Like ASMR.
kind of, yeah. Like he was trying to be gentle, but he also
Yeah.
was still new to his body, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Minute detail that I like, you know, it was really cool. Yeah, they definitely in the Universal one, they definitely try to make him more of a monster. They didn't really show too much of his like
Is
goodwill and nature.
Yeah. And also they gave him the abnormal brain, right? So it's to make
Yeah.
him like
That was pretty funny.
Dumb
Like-
and- yeah.
he like goes to get the normal brain and he break it. Reminded me of Young Frankenstein a little bit.
Yeah.
That part.
But-
Which Young Frankenstein is hilarious. If you guys haven't seen that movie's great. Have you watched it, Eric?
I haven't seen it.
It's so funny, yo. That's that's another like thing I try to watch like every Halloween, but I didn't watch it this Halloween. But it's hilarious. It's such a funny movie. That was I want to say that was Gene Wilder's first movie that he like wrote and directed.
Really?
Yeah, other than that he was just starring in movies prior to that, and then that was his first, I think, movie that he wrote and directed.
Nice.
Let me just IMDb it so I'm not talking out of my ass. Oh, it was directed by Mel Brooks, but it was written by Gene Wilder.
Yeah, I thought it was a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah, it was directed by Mel Brooks, written by Gene Wilder. I think this is the first movie he wrote.
Okay.
It's a good thing I looked it up. I was almost talking out of my ass.
Almost. Ace Ventura.
Right. As much as I want to keep talking about the movie, you want to move on to
Yeah, let's continue.
Suggestions?
Yes. So this movie, it reminded me a little bit of like earlier Tim Burton stuff.
Yeah, Tim Burton loves
And-
Frankenstein too.
Yeah. And so with that, I will suggest Edward Scissorhands,
Nice.
guy who creates a person.
Love
Um,
Edward Scissorhands.
Me too. Great movie. Um, I also would suggest The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Nice.
I
Yeah, that's a good one.
the Disney movie because it's the only one I've seen, but I'm sure the other ones would be good recommendations as well.
I
Um,
fucking love that
be,
movie.
yeah,
That's so underrated. And at
it
the time it
is.
came out, it was a flop. It was kind of like the movie that kind of put the nail in the coffin for the end of the Disney Renaissance. And everyone was like, this is whack. But that movie is so good, it's just not meant for kids. Watch it as an
It's so
adult, way
good.
better.
It's so beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it's
great.
a great movie. Um, and then the other movie I would suggest is Phantom of the Opera, which would be
Nice.
the musical, the one with Gerard Butler and Emmy Rossum,
Yeah,
because that's
good
again
gothic
it's the
vibes,
only
good
one
gothic
I've
romance
seen.
there.
But I'm sure the Universal classic is probably good as well. And the reason why I suggested the last two movies is I feel like there's a theme with like these monsters, as they say, where they're more like just misunderstood people who seem to just be wanting a companion. Like they just want to be loved and accepted. And
Right.
people say, "You're ugly. You're a monster."
I was gonna say, but because they're ugly,
Like
it's
you
like the
don't deserve
SpongeBob
love.
episode
Yeah.
where he's like, "It's just because you're ugly."
Well, I'm ugly and I'm proud.
I love that in SpongeBob. Yeah, that's so funny. Patrick's supposed to be like his best friend ever. And he goes to Patrick for help, and because he doesn't have a nose, he's just like, "Well, it's just because you're ugly." Like, it's so funny. You got any more suggestions?
Just for the heck of it, Van Helsing. I like that movie. And there's a Frankenstein in it. Or a Frankenstein
Nice.
monster, I should say.
Yeah. That's a movie I feel like it isn't a good movie, but I like it. You know what I mean? I feel the
Yeah,
same way about Tokyo Drift. Like I know I know they're not the best movies, but I fuck with it, yo.
they're fun. They're entertaining, right? They're just
Yeah,
not that great of a movie.
yeah. Van Helsing, I think, also has one of the coolest werewolves of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Super cool. Every time I picture a werewolf, I picture that werewolf.
Nice.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, I got some suggestions.
Okay.
But they're just all Del Toro movies. But to be fair, Del Toro loves Frankenstein, and because so, he's kind of found a way to implement themes of Frankenstein in the majority of his movies, if not all of them. So the first one I want to suggest is Pinocchio.
Which I
What
still
the
haven't seen.
What the fuck, IMDb? I thought I pulled up the right Pinocchio, and I have the live action version, the bullshit
With-
live action
with
Disney version.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
I don't
That
even
one?
no.
Or it's the new one
The
with
Tom Hanks one.
That one's not as exciting.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Anyways, Pinocchio, Del Toro's Pinocchio, on Netflix, is my favorite version of Pinocchio. It's so good. It's so good. I like it better than the Disney's original Pinocchio. I like it better than AI. It's that good. It's all stop motion. It's all handcrafted. It is beautiful. It has a great scene of who's the carpenter guy that puts together Pinocchio. What's his name again?
Geppetto.
Geppetto. There you go. Has a great scene of Geppetto. He loses his son and he gets like blackout drunk. And during a storm, he just decides to put together a wooden boy, right? And that scene to me feels so much like Frankenstein. Like it has like the lightning and the rain, and he's out there just grabbing pieces of wood, and just assembling this boy. But it's so Frankenstein-esque. It's awesome. It's such a good movie. Can't recommend it more. The other movie would be The Shape of Water.
Love that movie.
So good. Such a good love story, such a arbitrary love story, like so odd. Um, and you could tell Del Toro was really kind of uh dipping his toes in the water, pun intended, um, to kind of set up the romance of this woman with this creature, and you kind of get a bit of that in Frankenstein as well, um, or at least a woman who understands the creature.
Yeah.
Um, and I think he said so in an interview as well that this was like kind of a bit of a rehearsal for Frankenstein. I think he said this, and then he
Wow.
also
An Oscar-winning movie. It was a rehearsal.
yeah. Well, for Del Toro, he's been wanting to make this movie his entire life.
Yeah.
So
no,
like
that's awesome.
this is like a really like a dream come true for him. So if he said that every movie prior to this was kind of just like practice for Frankenstein, you know.
Yeah.
And then the other movie he said is also kind of a rehearsal for Frankenstein is Crimson Peak, which I actually have never seen.
That's a good one.
But I really want to watch it. When Eric decided to create this this whole idea of pulling out movies out of the bucket, out of Galactus's head back there, I had to put every Del Toro movie in there that I hadn't seen yet, and this was one of them. So it's in there somewhere.
Crimson Peak is really good. I feel like they failed when it comes to marketing. So I think they marketed it as a straight horror movie.
It's more of a romance.
And it's more of a gothic romance, yeah. And
That's what it looks like to me. Yeah.
Yeah, when people saw it, they're like, "This isn't what I wanted." But the movie was good. I liked it.
But another movie I would actually recommend that isn't a Del Toro movie, from Stoker's Dracula by Francis Coppola. Super cool movie. Coppola was kind of, I think, at his peak at this point. You know, Keanu Reeves does not get the best performance in it. His accent's not the greatest, but you know what? Everything else is awesome. It's really good. Del Toro also said in another interview that someone had mentioned to him or something that he should make Dracula, and he was like, "I have no interest in making Dracula." It's like to me, the best Dracula movie's already been made, and it was Francis Coppola. And I agree, the movie's really good. It's really cool. The visuals in it are awesome, and Monica Bellucci as a vampire. Come on, man, you know, take my soul.
Yeah.
If I was Keanu Reeves, I would have stayed in the castle. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have came back. Have you seen that version, Eric, of Dracula?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty cool. I actually hadn't watched it until maybe this year, maybe last year.
Yeah. All I ever hear about that movie is Keanu's awful accent.
Yeah, it's not that great. which sad.
Which isn't why I haven't seen it. I just haven't seen it because I could get past a bad accent. Didn't they ask Guillermo if he was going to, or if he had any interest in doing his own version of the Universal monsters?
I wouldn't doubt it. I feel like he'd be the guy to do it.
I think someone said. I think they might have said specifically something like Phantom of the Opera. I'm not sure, but I think he said he wouldn't be opposed to it. But he right now is focusing more on his stop motion stuff that he's going to be doing.
Gotcha. I wouldn't doubt it, but I don't think he would. Yeah, I don't think he would want to do that right now. To be quite honest, I think right now he's probably chilling. He seems like a super chill dude. He talks about like how every, I think, like Sunday or Saturday or something, he has friends that come over and they just paint model kits.
That's
in
awesome.
His kitchen. Yeah, he seems like such.
I feel like me and Guillermo would be really good friends.
That's how I feel too. Yeah, he seems like such a cool guy. Like, his house is awesome.
You see, that clip I sent you of him today, where he's talking about James Cameron.
No, but I did watch something about where he was talking about James Cameron. They're really close.
Yeah, they're pretty close, and he said that James Cameron is always like he's adventurous, and that's why he's like going to like the bottom of the sea and stuff, and he's like, and I'm cool with just eating
Going to
hamburgers.
it. He's like going to a taco truck. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess he like lived on James Cameron's couch for a bit.
Yeah, that's
Like-
what he was saying.
James Cameron helped him out.
Yeah,
Also, Guillermo del Toro's dad got kidnapped at some point.
yeah, he talked about that too.
And James Cameron helped him get people to
Yeah,
get him
he
back.
paid
Like,
for a negotiator.
yeah. Yeah. Which is crazy, yo. He talked about it so nonchalant. He's like, yeah.
That's what happens in Mexico, apparently.
Yeah. That's crazy, yo. But yeah, those are the movies I would recommend. Del Toro actually mentioned some movies he would recommend as far as gothic horror goes, or just gothic
Cool.
movies in general. Beauty and the Beast from 1946, directed by Jean Cocteau and Renee Clement. They it's I think one of the oldest versions of Beauty and the Beast on film, if not the oldest. It seems pretty cool though. I like the way they dressed up the Beast. Very cool. He suggested that. He suggested Wuthering Heights. Is that how you pronounce that? Wuthering?
Yeah.
Wuthering Heights.
Which isn't there a new one coming out soon? I
Yeah,
think there is.
with
Yeah.
what's his face? Jacob Elordi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's the main love interest in it. But this one he was talking about was from 1939. It's directed by William Wyler. Yeah, this one's more like gothic romance. And then the other one he recommended was Dragonwyck from 1946. I'd never heard of this movie at all. It's directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz. And yeah, it's I think it's also like a gothic romance. And then the other movie he suggested is called Uncle Silas, which is on IMDb is titled as The Inheritance, and then it says the original title Uncle Silas. So I don't know what's going on there, but it's called Uncle Silas, and it's directed by Charles Frank. Yeah, this is another I think gothic romance. So there you go. There's some suggestions from Del Toro himself. Very old movies, like all 40s, I think, 40s movies. Do you want to get into the bucket pool movie?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, last week, well, for us, it wasn't that long ago, actually. We recorded these episodes pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
We pulled out of Galactus, North by Northwest. It was made in 1959. Has a runtime of 2 hours and 16 minutes. It's directed by Alfred Hitchcock. It's written by Ernest Lehman, and it stars Cary Grant, Eva Marie Saint, and James Mason. How'd you feel about this movie, Eric?
I liked it. Up until recently, I hadn't seen any Alfred Hitchcock movie.
No way.
Yeah, I think it was earlier this year. I don't think it was last year that
He has so
watched.
many movies, yo.
So many. But
That's
yeah,
a
I think it was
lot.
earlier this year. I watched Rear Window
Nice.
for the
Love
first
that
time.
movie.
It's a good movie. And I've watched North by Northwest. And it was good. I didn't know what I was going to be watching. I had no idea what this movie was about.
Yeah, same.
So it was exciting, to go in completely blind and watch this awesome movie, that has that famous chase scene with the plane that I didn't know was from this movie. So yeah, it was good. I was entertained.
Yeah, it was cool. It's I feel like this is a roller coaster of a movie to go into blind.
Yeah,
I went in blind too. I've never seen it. Yeah, I liked it a lot. It felt like it was a comedy that turned into a romance that turned into a spy movie.
yeah,
It was like just right after another,
yeah.
But I liked the beginning. I was like dying laughing. It felt very Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Especially the car chase scene when he's like drunk. He's drunk driving.
Yeah.
That's was so funny to me. He's like they like got him drunk to like drive him off a cliff, and he just like just saves himself, and just drunk driving from there. That whole scene was hilarious.
Yeah, the premise itself is pretty funny. Like the fact that I'm assuming it's the
Yeah.
CIA, right? Comes up with this fake identity of a person
Yeah.
that's infiltrating what like art thieves? What are they doing? I don't remember.
Yeah. It's like
I don't know. It's
there's
some criminal.
some criminal activity from like
Yeah.
a foreign country in America doing shady things.
Yeah, and so they learn that this fake entity is spying on them, and they just assume it's this guy.
Yeah. That shit's so funny. And then at some point, the like CIA they like having a meeting. They're like, "Hey, there's this guy who's getting like being like everyone thinks he's this guy that we made up,
Yeah.
and they're like, what should we do about it? And they're just like, just leave it, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's totally fucked him.
Yeah, it gets the heat off of our actual guy that we
Yeah.
have in there.
Yeah, just threw him under the bus. Which is so funny. And then the whole scene with the lady on the train was like really enthralling too, because I was just like, this is way too good to be true. I was like,
Yeah.
this is insane. Like she's just throwing herself at him. And I was like, maybe she's just a very spontaneous person on a train traveling, maybe just something she does, but I was like, it feels way too good to be true.
Especially everything that's going on, like
Right. Yeah. He's like in the worst situation possible, and like at this beautiful woman just throws herself at him.
Yeah.
And then the it ended very abruptly though. I'll say that I felt like
yeah,
there was no third act. Like it was just like climax, and then a shot to them like on a train being like happily ever after, and then it was over.
Yeah.
But the Mount Rushmore scene was super cool.
yeah,
I was trying to figure out how the fuck they did that. I was like, you can tell some parts are matte paintings, some parts are like part of a set mixed with the matte paintings, and like, but there's other parts where I was like, I can't tell what they're doing right here.
right, yeah. No, it's cool. And it reminded me of Richie Rich. Did you ever watch that movie?
Yeah, actually, and they had a cartoon, right?
There was a cartoon, yeah. But yeah,
Who was
Richie
the
Rich.
kid in Richie Rich? Was it
I'm pretty sure it's Macaulay Culkin. Isn't
I
it?
thought it was honestly, was it Macaulay Culkin?
Yeah. I just know at the end they have a fight like scene on top of not Mount Rushmore, but it's like that, but it's his family's whose heads they have sculpted into the mountain.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
Richie Rich, Macaulay Culkin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about this movie until you just brought it up right now.
Yeah. I
Um,
watched that movie quite a bit when I was younger.
yeah, I remember being on TV.
It was on TV a lot, yeah.
Yeah. No, this movie actually reminded me, not Richie Rich, but North by Northwest reminded me a lot of Catch Me If You Can. You seen the movie with Leonardo
Great
DiCaprio?
movie.
Yeah, it reminded me a lot of that. Which is a really good movie. But yeah, overall really cool. I haven't seen a ton of Hitchcock films, to be quite honest. I think I've only seen like maybe 3. Yeah, but this was really cool. I like Alfred Hitchcock. I think he's a master of suspense. He's really good at just like keeping you reeled in.
Yeah.
You have anything else to say about this movie?
No, I feel like we talked about everything pretty much. We just went through it pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to say Wes Anderson said that this was one of the movies for a Phoenician scheme, but I don't remember.
I was gonna say it definitely seems like it would be.
It feels a little Phoenician schemey, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you want to move on to the bucket pool?
Bucket pool.
Do you have a Christmas bucket for us, Eric?
No, not yet. I meant to bring in one that I have at work, and I forgot to grab it today. So I'm just gonna
Okay.
literally pull from a hat that I have here.
Okay. It's not even a Santa
I put it-
hat?
No, I put the Santa hat on Galactus,
I was like, yeah, one right there.
but I was gonna put it in the red one bucket that I have,
Okay.
but it had popcorn in it, and I didn't clean it. So
Okay. Fair enough.
yeah, let's see what we got. Ooh, it's a good one. Batman Returns.
Nice. I guess that is a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
For those of you who might not know, we're doing Christmas movies from here on out throughout the holidays. So,
Yeah.
um,
send us Christmas movies,
yeah,
and they don't have to be traditional Christmas
we'll
movies.
put them in the hat.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could be what's that one action movie everyone says
Die Hard.
Die Hard. It could be Die Hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
Right on. Batman Returns. I like that movie.
Batman Returns. Yeah, great
Working
movie.
Working on a Batgirl painting right now, so I'm kind of been in the
I saw
Batman
that.
mood.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Yeah,
It's based off
sweet.
some fine art that I like. From like
Okay.
1889, something like that. It's like an old.
Oh, is it Barbara you're doing, or is it
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, Barbara.
Nice.
Yeah.
Barbara.
Yeah. I like the way the Warner Brothers draw her in the animated series. Very cute.
Barbara or Batgirl, I'm pretty sure was actually originally created for the Adam West TV show.
Oh, really?
I don't think she was in comics before then. I think after they put her in the show, then they start putting her in the comics.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Kind of a similar Harley Quinn situation there.
yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, let us move on. What do we go to after this? What is it? Final thoughts or no? What we've been watching, right?
What we've been watching.
So let's move on to what we've been watching. Let me pull up my letterbox. What you been watching, Eric?
Okay, so one thing I've been watching, and literally it was just today and the last time we were recording while I was waiting, and I just put it on, is Red versus Blue.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got through the first season and I think like halfway through the second one so far. Just classic
It's a funny
Yeah.
show.
comedy.
I think
Halo.
Rooster Teeth went under. I think. I don't think they're a thing
It's
anymore.
yeah, I think something happened like a couple years ago.
Yeah, they're thriving for a minute.
They were, yeah. Yeah, good show. And then I also watched the new episode of Welcome to Derry.
Nice. Same.
Did you watch the third one? Yeah.
Yeah. It was
What'd you
pretty
think?
cool. It was pretty cool. I like that the psychic guy is from The Shining.
He's from The Shining.
Yeah, he's the guy that runs the Overlook Hotel. I like the
Overlook.
caretaker.
He has
Yeah.
The Shining.
Yeah, you know.
The Shine. Yeah.
And when
I
he's
didn't know
talk-
that was the same character. I kind of figured it was the same ability.
I'm pretty positive. I didn't look it up. I'm pretty positive because in The Shining, when he's talking to what's the little boy's name? I forget. I remember his little imaginary friend is Tony, but I forget his name.
Tony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when he's talking to him, and he's like, you want to know how I knew your name was, how I knew they called you Doc? And then he starts talking about The Shining. He's like, me and my grandmother used to have conversations all the time without ever saying a word. And in this episode, he kind of does the same thing. It's almost like a similar scene where he's at the dinner table
Yeah.
and he's kind of like reading their minds a little bit. And then at some
Yeah.
point, he's like, your son, where's your son at, or whatever, right? And he kind of gives him a weird look. And because I knew of The Shining, I knew he was what was happening in that situation. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he never told them that he has a son. And then that's when he comes out to the porch and he's like, I don't think I ever told you about that.
Yeah.
But yes, and then
Good
in
scene.
the what's it called, the vision thing he has, right, where he's like in its sewer layer, in
Yeah.
Pennywise's sewer layer, and his grandma starts floating towards him. He's like, grandma, or grandmother, or whatever, right? And she's like, get out of here, right? So that's that relationship with his grandma. So Yeah. So I'm pretty positive it's the same guy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like one of
Yeah,
my
it's,
favorite people in uh the what do they call it? The um Stephen verse is what they call it.
I don't know, but no, he is a cool character.
Stephen King, like his
Um,
universe, whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like him.
But no, I like the show so far. I'm really invested in the story.
Yeah.
Um, I have a friend who his wife is pregnant. They just found out recently, and so that first episode was kind of rough to get through.
Aye.
And and then the second episode has that whole like weird pregnant like birthing scene too. So he
Yeah.
hadn't seen the second episode, and I warned him. I was like, "Yeah, there's something crazy that happens." And then I asked him today if he watched the third one. He's like, "After what you told me about the second episode, we just kind of gave up on that show." I was like,
Uh
"Okay, that's
Fair.
fine."
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think if you have a hard time seeing kids get, attacked,
yeah,
it is probably not the type of character you want to indulge in.
no. But speaking of The Shining, Shelley Duvall was in that, and
Yeah.
I watched a movie last night that she was also in,
Oh yeah?
which is a Frankenstein movie
Is it?
made in the 90s, starring Ryan Reynolds.
What's it called?
And it has three titles. It went by three different titles. It's mostly known as Bottleneck, but it also went by Teen Monster, and I think the other one was Big Monster on Campus.
When did it come out,
I don't know when it came out, if it was ever in theaters or was like straight to DVD kind of thing, VHS. Because it looks like it had a possible limited release in '98, but then was officially released in 2000. And I'm getting different information from different sources, so I don't know when it was officially released. But I only learned about this because Matthew Lawrence, who stars as Frankenstein in the movie, talked about it on his podcast, and he said that the producers of the movie told Ryan Reynolds that they don't like what he was doing, that he was just doing a bad Jim Carrey impression.
Oh.
But I guess what Matthew Lawrence said Ryan Reynolds was doing, and what he ultimately ends up doing, is being Deadpool. Like, that is what he does for the Deadpool movies. And if you watch the movie, it does feel like this weird like origin of who we know as Ryan Reynolds and his like personality
Huh.
and the different
Okay.
characters he does. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. But
Was
the
it good?
movie is not great, to be honest.
Okay. I just found it on IMDb right now. I'm looking
Yeah, I found it for free on YouTube to watch the movie, so I didn't have to pay for it. Yeah, so what happens is Frank Stein is just like Dr. Frankenstein, obsessed with like trying to like reanimate a dead body. And he's a high school kid. And he sees like these two teen bullies outside his window trying to hide the body of this like goth kid they just accidentally killed, who was Ryan Reynolds. And so he goes down there and tells them, "Hey, I can help." And then they go and they steal a brain from his dad's lab. And instead of taking the good brain, they take the bad brain. So they take the brain of this killer, put it in this teenage body. And that's basically the movies. But it's weird because he's like, "I'm not going to mess this up. This is my second chance, you know? I'm not going to go around killing people again." And then he gets blamed for possibly killing the girl. And then he also gets blamed for stealing a bunch of money. But at the end of the movie, you find out the girl's alive. She snuck off to get breast implants. And that the guy who suspected them of stealing the money had misplaced the money. So he never did any of this bad stuff, but yet they still killed him and then put in the right brain in the body at the end of the movie. So that like guy is actually dead now.
Damn.
I don't know. It's a weird movie.
I literally went to the pictures right away, and there's a picture of a guy just staring at this like blonde bimbo lady with her like chest pushed out. She's just
Yeah,
like
that's at
staring
the
right at her
end.
tits.
Yeah. And the movie, like what like, the main title is known as is Boltneck. He doesn't have any bolts on his neck. I don't. It's a weird movie. It starred Matthew Lawrence,
I'm
who,
gonna
if you
say
don't know, is
from
from
Boy Meets World, right?
Boy Meets World, Brotherly Love, and getting the girl's name, but she was Al in Step by Step. You ever watch that show?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but yeah, it's them and Ryan Reynolds, and totally a product of its time.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. Not rated even on here, so.
yeah. When I saw that you watched the original Frankenstein, I was planning on doing that too, and so I did, as I said earlier.
Yeah.
But then when the movie ended, I like remembered Matthew Lawrence talking about this movie, and I was like, I need to go find this movie. Maybe if I can watch this before we record, I want to talk about this.
Nice. Yeah, that's crazy. This looks
Yeah,
insane. This looks like a movie you'd put on for as a drinking game. Like
yeah,
something just
for
to, like
sure.
laugh and be silly about. It's got a 4.8 stars on Letterboxd. Not Letterboxd, sorry. On
I was gonna
IMDb.
say, wow,
On Letterboxd would be
IMDb,
great. That'd be a great rating for Letterboxd. That'd be
yeah,
insane. No, on IMDb it's a
IMDb is 10
4.8
stars, right?
out of 10, yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
So I've been using
Yeah,
Letterboxd a lot.
wow,
Yeah, so not the best rating, but I'd check it out just because the way you described it sounds crazy.
it's so crazy. It's worth to watch. It's bad, but it yeah,
Hey, I think you should watch the good movies and the bad movies so you know exactly why things are bad and why things are good, you know?
yeah,
It's the best way to
exactly.
study film, I think.
But have you been watching anything?
I was looking at my letterbox and I guess I haven't really. I watched the original Frankenstein, um, which we talked about already. And then other than that, I haven't. Welcome to Derry, which we talked about too. So kind of watched the same things. And then I've been watching here and there. I've been watching Samurai Jack at work.
Nice.
I've never really seen that show in its entirety. I've seen episodes here and there when it was like on TV, but
Hmm.
it's kind of like, and it's not really necessarily like a show that we have to watch in kind of chronological order, because some of the
Yeah,
episodes just kind of like they do its own thing, but it eventually does lead to one kind of big story, you know.
yeah,
So every now and then when I'd chime in when it was on TV, I didn't really know what the heck was going on in the story.
yeah,
So, but it was a cool show. Um, I just feel like I never really gave it the time of day that uh, I think it deserves. It's a
right.
Gandhi show. It's like Gandhi Tartakovsky's the like show that kind of put him on the map. Before that, he was like on Dexter's Lab and Powerpuff Girls. Then Samurai Jack was like the one where it kind of really solidified him as like
Yeah,
a prominent name in animation. Um, so I'm watching it here and there. Show's really cool. You can really see him leaning into his style that he has.
yeah,
And you can see that he pulls a lot of inspiration from Looney Tunes actually. Um,
nice.
the backgrounds remind me a lot of what is the guy that does the backgrounds?
But Samurai Jack, they didn't do like sell like animation, right? Like Looney Tunes did.
No, but the
Yeah.
um I'm thinking of Chuck Jones. I think Chuck Jones is actually um he's an animator, not the background artist, but um you can tell he pulls a lot of inspo from Chuck Jones and also whoever does the backgrounds for Looney Tunes. I forget his name too, but or at least the main person who did all the kind of concept work for Looney Tunes backgrounds.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you could really see it in Samurai Jack. It's like the way they kind of block out different things in the frame as like a very specific color. He does that in Samurai Jack a lot. Um, but yeah, very cool show. Um, no need to linger on this longer because
Yeah.
or take up a lot of time. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I've really been watching. Everything else we talked about already. So
Cool.
right, final thoughts. You have any final thoughts before I start rambling?
No, I think I pretty much said most of what I wanted to say with what I first talked about, and then also in my suggestions. But like I said earlier, it reminded me a little bit of early Tim Burton stuff. And one thing that really made me think that is the way Oscar Isaac was dressed earlier in the film. Like totally just looked like he was straight out of the Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, I love his red gloves. I want them.
Yeah.
Those things are cool as fuck. Guillermo said in a interview that um, he has to have like a Mick Jagger swagger and look and feel to him because the like back in like that time period, Victor Frankenstein would have been kind of like a rock star in a way, like very rebellious to the science that was being practiced at that time. You know.
Makes sense.
Sure. There's a lot of fine art references in this movie, which is why it feels like fine art to me, to be quite honest. And the only other movie that I feel like is similar to that is Barry Lyndon by Stanley Kubrick. And every shot in that movie feels like a painting. And I felt, and I think that Barry Lyndon and Frankenstein actually have a shot in the same location, and I forget which painting it is in front of, but it's like the same location that they used. But yeah, some of the fine art that's referenced in Frankenstein. There's a painting called Vanitas, and it's by Simon Renard from the 1600s, and the shot where the guy who's funding him, by Christoph Waltz, he's doing some photography with that like chick who's like in like a gown or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's doing some photography and then she kind of is eating the peach or whatever,
Yeah.
and he gets mad at her. So that whole thing that's behind her that he like points to, he's like, it's supposed to symbolize death or whatever, right? That is a painting called Vanitas.
Yeah.
And then another one that is referenced is called The Incredulity of St. Thomas. And it's by Gerard van Honthorst, 1620 when he made it. Very old painting as well. The part where Mia Goth sticks her fingers in his wound.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing, same painting. There's another one that's kind of referenced. I feel like it's pretty similar enough, but there's a this one's actually a little more recognizable, I think, by most folks, called Las Meninas. It's by Diego Velázquez. It was painted in 1656. It's a painting where like a little girl is standing in front of a mirror, and there's like somebody in the doorway. And there's like some helpers around her. There's a shot with, I think, with Victor Frankenstein, yeah, and Christoph Waltz, and there's like somebody that comes through the doorway. The shots are pretty similar. Yeah, so some fine art there. There's also a lot of color theory in this movie. A lot of greens, a lot of reds, a lot of blues, and golds and whites. So the movie opens with white, gold, and brown, I think. And then it ends with that color too. That's just where the Arctic and the boat and all that stuff. But the red in the movie is like Victor's colors are red and white and black. And red symbolizes his mother. Which is why when his mom dies, she has that like red thing around her corpse and her casket. Which those caskets were cool as fuck, by the way. I was like, I actually want to be turned into a tree, but like if I had to choose another option, give me a cool casket like that, you know?
Yeah.
The green is representative of Elizabeth, and that's why she's kind of dressed in green often, and it's supposed to like represent her connections to like the natural world and how she kind of like is more understanding of nature, you know, and she like she kind of looks at the way she's like kind of mesmerized by the butterfly that they catch or whatever, you know, she's like really involved and understands nature very well, so she's dressed in green. Green also represents the creature, but so green has a duality in color theory. Green is, it could represent life, but it could also represent death and evil.
Yeah.
So I think green in this movie does kind of show that duality. Yeah, a lot of the shots are very green. I think because that's main duality in this movie and the story is life and death, and so the green representing like nature and life, and then green also at the same time representing death. So that's why you have a lot of greens, and then blue is linked to his brother, and also, what is this guy's name that I keep referring to? I just call him Christoph Waltz, but Harlander and Victor's brother are represented with blue. Yeah, and that's just, I think it's because it's tied to Victor's like childhood memories and like his family and stuff. Also, too, one of the dresses that she wears, Mia Goth, one of the just is blue, and it was based off of X-rays. It was, which is like, it shows it in the this behind the scenes thing, but the costume design in this movie is so fucking cool, yo. The costume designer, she was looking at X-rays and like that kind of like phantasm, like ghosts blue that X-rays seem to have. She kind of implemented that in one of her dresses. Looks super cool. But yeah, those are like the main colors in the movie, and yeah, it's super cool. I love when movies have their own color theory, their own color symbolism, and it makes the movie feel a lot more put together. Another movie that does this really well is Blade Runner 2049. Denis Villeneuve has a lot of color theory in it. But yeah, it's very beautiful. Another one thing I wanted to mention was there's this artist I really like. His name's James Jean. He does a lot of like cool like surreal paintings. It's kind of surreal, but they're kind of, he has a very unique style. It's like I wouldn't even call it abstract, to be quite honest. But he's been doing a lot of poster art for movies. He did one for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then he did one for this movie, and it looks super cool. So James Jean, go check him out. He's sweet. The duality of Victor and his creation, like the way Guillermo directed that, his Victor story and the creature story is so beautiful. The one thing I will say I don't like about this movie, it's only like, it's like a very very minute thing, but I don't like that his brother tells him that he's the monster. I think that should have been just leave it subtextual. Like, you could have left the rest of the dialogue in it where he's like kind of like, I've always been afraid of you, this and that, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that he tells him you are the monster, I think it's too much. I think
Right.
I think the audience could have got that without uh, Del Toro spoon feeding it to us.
Right.
The relationship between Victor and the creature, it's supposed to symbolize his relationship between him and his father,
His father. Yeah.
and then also now him and his children, and because Del Toro's a father now too, so yeah, so now like, the meaning kind of changed a little bit. Like prior to him having kids, it was always him and his dad kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, which is why I think the ending is a bit different to the book. I saw a lot of people talking online about how the book was different and they didn't like that they changed the ending or whatever. But like,
Yeah, where the monster forgives him.
yeah.
Uh,
So
yeah, I don't know. It's different, but it's not that different. Uh,
yeah, he changed it to suit his narrative and suit what he wanted it to mean.
which is fine, and
It's
it
just
works.
yeah. I liked it. I like that because
Yeah.
I feel like that's also I don't maybe it's just a human thing, but I feel like it's also a very Mexican thing, you know. But,
Family's a very Mexican thing. I mean, other cultures have, you know, an emphasis on family, but uh, us being Mexican American, we definitely felt that growing up, and we have a huge family. Which, again, thanks for all the support from you guys.
yeah, appreciate it.
But yeah, it's a great movie. I like the duality of life and death in the characters of Victor and the creature. As you know, Victor is so obsessed with death because of his mother's death that he experienced early on, and he wants to conquer death, right? And then he does it. He creates this thing, but he's been so obsessed with beating death that he doesn't know what to do with the life he's given to this creature. He says that he never thought of what to do with if it ever happened. You know,
Right.
like he didn't know what to do with this thing, and then he just started treating the creature like his dad
Like
treated
his
him,
dad. Yeah.
which definitely wasn't the right way to go.
Yeah, that generational trauma, that passed down generational trauma, yeah.
Yeah, and then the creature can't die, and he longs for it. He wants the embrace of death because like everyone's trying to kill him, and he just he can't die. And
Yep.
he would like that, especially if he can't have a companion to live his life with.
Mhm.
And he will never know that what death would be like because Victor beat death, but Victor will ultimately die. I don't know. It's just it was interesting that both of what they want they can't have. Like Victor wants to beat death, but he doesn't because his creature did, but
Mhm.
he himself can't, and his creature would like to eventually die. He doesn't want to live his life alone, but he won't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad. I like in the end he kind of embraces the sun. Um
Hmm.
and when he first sees the sun, he kind of shudders away from it and Victor's like, "No, sun is good. It's like life, you know?"
Yeah.
Um and then at the end he kind of brings it around full circle. When he tells him to
Yeah.
go live. Um, and then also too, when you were saying earlier that you read the book, that was when I was reading the book, that was like my favorite part of the book was when he thought he failed his experiment and he goes to bed
Yeah.
and then he wakes up and the monster's there. So creepy.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, so well written in the book. It's so cool. Um, and Del Toro put it on screen. That's not exactly how I pictured it to be quite honest, but that's okay. You know, it was still really
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I think he's the only person to do that scene from the book.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's my favorite part. It was yeah, it's super cool.
It is creepy. It also reminds me of a child that just like goes in their parents' bedroom early in the morning and just like stand there watching them sleep.
I can say from experience that has happened.
Yeah. I mean, Ari did that to me when I visited you for Thanksgiving that one time. I just woke up, she's just standing there, like, hi.
Yeah, she does that. She does that to me all the time. She was like, open my door. I'm like half asleep. She's just like standing there in my doorway. But yeah, and then also too, I'll say the style of the angel that visits Victor, that kind of gives him his whole like purpose. It was very Mexican. It was like it was supposed to be like styled and like a like kind of like Mexican angel of death kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
did they name the angel at any point?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I didn't think so. When I see it on, they say it's a guardian angel,
right?
But for some reason, I see Michael, Archangel.
Yeah,
I don't know what Michael looks like.
Archangel Michael, yeah. And I was thinking that too, because I think at some point he's standing next to a statue of an angel, and I think I had asked Natalie, because she's pretty savvy with those things, and I was like, "Is that Archangel Michael?" And she was like, "No, Archangel Michael usually is like with a sword and shield, so I don't think it's Archangel.
Yeah,
I don't think it's Archangel Michael." And she was like, "It could be like Gabriel or
Gabriel has the horn."
But yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, this guy had armor on, which is why it makes me think of
that's why I thought it was Archangel Michael too. Yeah. So maybe. Oh, the scene where he's assembling the creature.
Yeah.
I love that the music kind of juxtaposed the horror that was actually happening on screen, because that shit is insane. He just has body parts lying around everywhere, and he's just stitching together this perfect man. And the music is like almost as if somebody's like working in their office of carpentry, like someone who's like diligently working and putting together like a work of art or something.
Which in a way he did, just with body parts.
Yeah, but it's just, what's on screen is so horrific, and the music is so playful. It's just juxtaposes it. It works very well.
Yeah.
And then also too, when he's collecting the bodies on the battlefield, there's windmills in the background.
Nice.
Kind of like a homage to the original Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And then another thing I want to talk about was kind of the discourse online. I saw about it. Everyone I saw in like a comment section of that was a post about Frankenstein, and I was looking in the comment section, and someone was saying that, the post was about how everything was handcrafted, right? He didn't want to use too much CGI for the movie, so instead of getting like a CGI boat, they built a whole boat from scratch. And some people were like talking shit in the comments. Someone was like, "Oh yeah, I don't want a CGI boat. Makes the most CGI looking boat ever." And then there's other people. Some other guy was like, "Yeah, I thought I was watching a video game like halfway through it." And I'm like, what?
You know why, Josh? Because people don't appreciate cinema, and they don't watch it the way it should be watched. They're watching it on tiny little phone screens. They're watching it on their tablets.
That reminds me. So Friday, before I had watched it, my coworker Greg was watching it on his screen, but he watches it like super small, like in the corner, so nobody knows that he's like watching it, And he's like working on something, so he's not even watching it, and like he's not even like halfway through it, and he's like, "Hey, Josh, you hear about this new Frankenstein movie?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm watching it tonight." And he was like, "It kind of sucks so far." And I was like, "Don't talk to me." I didn't even watch the movie yet, but I was like, "Don't talk to me." And he was like, "What? Yeah. Why?" And I was like, "First of all, I love Guillermo del Toro, and second, even if he did do a bad job with this movie, I'm sure it's not terrible. Like I'm almost positive it is not. No. and I was like, and third, when I do watch it, I'm definitely not gonna be watching it like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sucks, Eric. Like I was kind of getting down about it, to be quite honest, because I was looking at the comment section and of Frankenstein, and it seemed like there's a lot of just like dumb people that were saying things about the movie that they didn't fully understand. You know, somebody was even like, "Oh yeah, don't want any CGI in the movie because CGI wolves," and I was like, "Okay, so you just want someone to actually get mauled by a wolf?
Yeah.
Let's just get a real wolf. Everything's real for me. Let's kill somebody on screen. How about that?
Let's skin a real wolf.
Come on, bro." And then they're like, "A CGI deer, though." Like, it was like, come on, give me a fucking break, dude. And then, what's crazy, what I was getting down about was, the last movie we reviewed, right? We didn't give it a very good review. We didn't say it was, like I said, I think in the video I say it wasn't terrible. It was okay, but
It
everyone
wasn't.
just assumed because we didn't say it was amazing that we hated it, right? And so
Yeah.
like we got a lot of backlash on it, and like I was telling Natalie, I was like, I guarantee you the people that love this new Predator movie are gonna hate Frankenstein. And what's sad is that Disney has curated this formula, right, to fit the to appeal the masses. And what's sad is that the formula that curated is actually the reason why they made it, and the reason why they made it the way they made it was because it's working. People are so dumb, Eric, that like this curated art that they're making to appease people that don't understand art, they're falling for it, and people that then those same people that don't understand art are watching movies like Frankenstein and saying this sucks. And I think it to me it feels like humanity is on a downward spiral. Like it's. I was telling her, I was like, I gotta get off social media for today because like it's making me depressed, yo. Like I can't stand it.
It's like having a masterpiece like Starry Night, and then having AI generated, whatever, big boob girl, whatever your favorite anime girl is, or a comic book character, just AI generated to look the way you want it to look. And people are like, I like that thing because that's what I like. That's what I've been told to like my whole life.
Yeah.
That thing over there, I don't know what is that. It's all some weird blue swirls.
Yeah. And I know it. I know it makes. I see it like AI is so prevalent on social media. I go on social media and I see all this stuff all the time, and I see the way people are interacting with it, and it makes me sad, yo. I'm like, oh my god, dude. Like, I want to just like strangle society, like it's. But yeah, yeah. So I have a feeling that a lot of people are gonna shit on Frankenstein. A lot of people that don't understand it. A lot of people that don't really study or appreciate it. They're gonna be like for example, my coworker, he was like, yeah, it was just like slow for me. And that's the thing, is like everyone's so accustomed to this like immediate gratification that like with social media, with the immediate dopamine hits, the scroll, oh, I don't like it, scroll, scroll, and just until their dopamine sensors are completely fried, that now they don't have the attention span to like sit through something that's actually good, because they'd rather just have comedy relief that makes you feel nothing, and action-packed scenes that make you feel nothing but gives you adrenaline, and have it be repeatable and remade to fit different narratives, and injecting dopamine straight into their veins rather than actually telling a good story. And people, you know what I mean? Like it's, I don't know. I could go on, but like it's really bothering me. But
yeah, it's unfortunate.
yeah, this movie this movie Frankenstein was made for artists. It was made by artists for artists, people that really truly love art and appreciate art, and I feel like sometimes when people talk about art, like it feels like the word art has kind of like a negative connotation with it, because like it's such a umbrella term, because there's so much that can go under the word art, you know. It can come off pretentious in a way, but the thing is, here's how I was going. But the thing is with movies, right? And I think the reason why I really love movies, because I love art, and movies assembles so many different types of art, right? So many things fall under that umbrella of art, and movies, I think, is like the one thing that assembles the majority of it. Music, costume design, stage design, hand craftsmanship, acting, dance, you know, singing, anything, like almost anything, you name it, it falls under the umbrella of movies and film, because it's the only thing that really fully assembles all of it, you know? Yeah, and that's why it's really hard to critique movies, because there's so many people that are involved with it, so many artists that are involved with it, and so many people just you know, they give all the credit to the director, but there's so many people, so many hands that were in that pot of creativity. It's hard to say like, oh yeah, this movie sucked, this movie didn't. It's there's certain aspects of it that probably did suck. There's certain aspects of it that probably didn't. But as a whole, if it sucks as a whole, then it really sucks. You know what I mean? Everybody involved really dropped the ball, you know? But this movie, Frankenstein, is everything was firing on all cylinders. Everything about it was just beautiful, and you could tell everyone that was involved was very passionate with what they're doing, and they really loved with what the story and the work that they're putting into it, and that it bleeds off the screen.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, and art, you know, like you said, it's subjective. What they're putting out is just so like we said before, formulaic and paint by numbers, and they know it's the same thing. They know it's what people like and what people are going to see, and get them views and spend their money to buy tickets. But even bad art is art, right? Like look at movies like The Room or Troll 2. Like those movies are terrible.
They have a cult following because of how terrible it is.
They are somebody's art that they put a lot of time and passion into, and have gained their own like cult following because of that. You know, not simply because it's bad, but the fact that it was even made. You know, like like somebody made that, and the fact that people can find enjoyment out of it, it's awesome. But when they put out these movies with people who are talented, but they're not using their talent to show anything new. They're not using their talent to make something fun and creative. They're just using their talent to do what the studio says and put out something that the masses are going to want to see.
Yeah. And I think anything that gets taken and set through like a default factory setting, so that it's like the McDonald's, you know, it's like the McDonald's of art, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can go to like a 5-star restaurant and get like the best cheeseburger you've ever had, and then you could also get McDonald's. And some people are gonna prefer McDonald's. As crazy as that fucking sounds, some people are gonna prefer that factory fucking bullshit of a cheeseburger that you're eating. But I think it's pretty obvious that the better option is the one that wasn't put through a fucking factory and injected with chemicals. And it's just so that you can have a dopamine hit when you have a bite into it. You know what I mean?
But what about the burger at the dive bar down the street? Why not take a chance on that?
Right. Yeah.
It might get you sick, but it's something different.
Might have a fly in it, you know.
But But people go with what they're comfortable. Like they know McDonald's. They've
Yeah.
been eating at McDonald's their whole lives. They're going to go to McDonald's,
Right.
just like our president.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Nothing wrong with McDonald's. I mean, it's not healthy for you, but
I had it the other
I'm
day.
not judging you if you go there.
I had it the other day. It's convenient.
Yeah, it is. But if you get a chance to go to a nice fancy 5-star restaurant or whatever, why not?
Yeah. But also too, with art, I have this thing that I always say that if you study art, you can learn so much about humanity, bro. Like you can like if you study art history, one, you're learning we don't just paint anything, especially back then, right?
Yeah.
It's a flip book of our history. It's our flip book of our existence. You learn about wars, you learn about kings, you learn about drama and how we as humans have evolved with society, and how our society has evolved with technology, and you learn so much about humanity. And like a lot of my days I've spent like studying. I'll study like one art piece. Like I'll study like the painting I'm doing right now is based off of a painting that was painted forever ago. But I'm obsessed with that painting. I love it. So I was like, I want to try to recreate it in my own version, But yeah. I'll spend like a day learning just about that one painting. And I swear, like I've learned more studying art than I have in school.
That's awesome.
Studying art, fine art, movies, animation, right? I've learned so much about the world just through studying art, way more than I think I would have ever learned in the classroom. So study art, people, and then
art.
And then come watch this movie Frankenstein, because then you'll really understand what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah. But Josh, what do we know? What was the last movie we made?
I know. I saw one of the comments was like, "What was the last movie you made?" I was like, "Bro,
yeah,
that has nothing to do with anything." Everyone can art is put out for a reason. It's meant to be create discourse. It's meant to create discussion. Why do you think when you search a movie, any movie, for example, go to TikTok right now, search Predator Badlands. I guarantee you, like hundreds and hundreds of videos will pop up about reviews, people talking about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the point. The point is to create some kind of discourse. So the point is to create some kind of community around that art. And people like that, that's exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Dumb people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind the backlash though. It seems like a lot of people like the new Predator Badlands movie.
A lot of people did, and like I said, I think a lot of the comic book fans like it, which is cool because I've never read the comics.
Yeah.
But like if it is, like one of the Predator comics come to life, that's awesome, because that's what I would like to see when I see a comic book movie. Yeah. But I wasn't expecting a comic movie. I said it was like a Marvel movie. People did not like that.
And you're not wrong about that, dude. That's like
I'm not. I know I'm not.
And like the video you sent me of the guy reviewing it, he said the same thing.
Same thing. He said the same thing we said.
Yeah, but he just had a positive outlook on it rather than a negative one.
Which is fine. And I don't have even a negative outlook on the movie.
I don't either, really. It just wasn't amazing.
I was expecting. It wasn't what I thought it would be, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But that one guy who said, what movie were you watching? It's like, okay, I've seen most of the Predator movies. There's one that I haven't seen. This one everyone says is the worst.
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen either.
But I've seen every single Marvel movie that's been made.
Yeah.
Like, I think I can say what is and what isn't a Marvel movie.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, I've seen most of the Predator movies, except for that one that you talked about. I've seen, I think, every Alien movie that's been put out, every Alien thing that's been put out, even the TV show. And I've seen every Marvel movie. Well, most Marvel movies. Actually, there's some Marvel movies that come out recently that I haven't watched because I was just like, I don't feel like it. Um, but yeah, most Marvel movies. And I can genuinely say you're not wrong about that. And then the reason why is because exactly what I was talking about is how Disney has kind of curated this formula, and they're obviously running Marvel through that all constantly, you know. And they ran Predator through it, and the fact that people don't see that just proves my point right there. How dumb people are.
Hey, but they liked it. I think it did pretty good this weekend, so we're probably going to get more.
Hey, I'm not opposed to it, yo.
Yeah.
I like Dan Trachtenberg's outlook on the Predator franchise.
Same.
I think he's a very creative dude. I think he's gonna do really cool stuff with it. And I didn't think the movie was terrible. There are things I liked about it. There are things I didn't like about it. And I hate that social media and our country as a whole, to be quite honest, has polarized everything. Everything's black and white. It's like, what are we doing here, bro? Like, nothing can be in the middle. Nothing can just be okay. Like, that's what that movie was to me. It was okay. The action scenes are great. The themes were great. The comedy relief wasn't that great. The PG-13 movie to me wasn't that great either. I would have liked a rated R movie. It's a Predator movie. The original Predator was great because it mixed genres of horror and action.
Only way that's an R-rated movie is either they put humans in it or the Yautja curses.
Right. Put some humans in it.
Yeah, I'd be okay with some Yutani guys just getting killed off.
I was telling, right? Yeah, I was telling Natalie too that like they're like, oh, there's no humans in it. And I was like, yeah, but that's bullshit too, kind of though, because they put a robot with upped sensitivity who might as well be a fucking human, yo. They're like, oh, it's only aliens and robots. It's like she might as well be a fucking human.
Yeah, she looks like a human. She
talks like one. She emotes like one. She even breathes like one. There's a scene where she's walking away and she's like, she sighs. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But whatever. Movie was okay, people. A movie can just be okay. All right, and that movie was.
Hey, and you're not wrong for liking it.
Yes, like what you like.
Dumb or that you're wrong. You can like it.
Notice how all of those comments, I didn't say shit back to anybody really, because they're allowed to have an opinion. They're allowed to like. In fact, I'm glad they like it. I like that they like it.
Yeah.
I just didn't like it the way you liked it. I would like the same respect that I gave you. You know what I mean?
No.
You're allowed to like it. I'm allowed to think it's just okay. Yeah. Anyways. We've dragged this on a bit. A
little bit. It was fun.
It was fun. I like the discussion we had. You want to talk about what we're going to watch next? Do you know what we're going to watch next?
Let's see here. Oh, Rental Families comes out the 21st. I think we could do that one.
Rental Families?
The one with Brendan Fraser.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to see that movie. It looks really cute. I'm going to cry, yo. I already know I'm going to cry.
Yeah. Speaking of Brendan Fraser, you see they're going to do another Mummy with him in the original cast?
I did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious as to how they're going to go about it. Like, is it like, are they like the main stars, or are they just doing like a nostalgia bait thing where they kind of pop in for like a scene or two?
If they do a Jurassic Park thing where they just do it a Mummy and they bring back the old cast, I don't think I'd like that.
Yeah.
Just do a movie with the original cast.
Yeah. But The Mummy is kind of an action-packed movie, and they're kind of old now.
They are kind of old. I don't know.
You might get.
They did have a kid, right? So maybe the kid can be an adult.
Yeah.
And they're all just there. I don't know.
You might get a movie.
Hopefully, they have a good idea.
Captain Marvel, where you have young, old Samuel Jackson running around in the background. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, those de-aging things gotta stop, yo. That's crazy. Yeah, let's do Rental Family for the next.
Rental Family. Brendan
Yeah.
Fraser. Yay.
Yay! I'm actually pretty excited for this. It's very different compared to the movies we've been watching, to be quite honest.
Yeah. It'll be nice to see something a little different.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Cool. So
Cool.
there you have it, audience. Sorry if this was a long-winded episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Otherwise, what's the point of having a podcast if you don't like listening to us talk, at least somewhat?
Yeah.
You know what we're watching. Show up next week. Watch the movies we're watching. Be a part of the discussion. You can talk about it too. You can put in your 2 cents about what you thought about Rental Family or what is the other movie we're watching for the bucket pool?
The Bucket Pool. Batman Returns.
Batman Returns. There you go. That's gonna be
Yeah.
a fun episode, yo. That's two very different movies, I think. Rental Family and
Yeah.
Batman Returns. It's gonna be fun, yo. It's gonna be a good one. So watch the movies, come back, talk to us about it, and yeah. Thank you guys for the support. We love y'all, and I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.